Warm welcome to all my students. Today I will start a new chapter, Indian Land Resource. In this chapter we will learn about land use pattern of India, agriculture and its importance, types of agriculture in India, major crop, and next we will be learning about major crop of India, cropping season and cropping pattern, and the last we will learn about horticulture and floriculture. So remember, first we will learn about land use pattern of India. After that we will be learning about agriculture in India and its importance and types of agriculture. And after that, cropping season and cropping pattern. And then major crops of India. The last one is horticulture and floriculture. These are the content what we are going to learn in this lesson. First, let me learn about land use pattern in India. So before we learn about the land use pattern in India, we will learn the meaning of land use pattern in India. So what is land use pattern in India? So here if you see, the meaning is the distribution of land for different uses, like it can be used for forestry, cultivation, pasture, is called land use. So first we will learn what is land use. A land which is used for different purpose. It may be used for forestry, cultivation and pasture, is called land use. The next we will see the factors. Factors we will see here. The first one is relief feature, climate, soil, population, density, socio-economic and technical factor. These are the factors for different land use pattern. So remember, what are the factors if you see? First one is relief feature, climate, soil, population density, socio-economic and technical factor. These are the factors of land use. The next, the most important is, why do we give so much importance to land? Land is a natural resources, the most important natural resources, and moreover land is a very essential for a growth of economic development of a country. It plays a very important role in the growth of economic. So that is the reason why we give importance to land. Now seeing this picture, you will understand what are the factors of land use. So first factor, as I told you, relief feature, different types of landform. And next one is climate, soil. With this, three more points you have to remember. Those three are population density, socio-economic and technical factors. So these are the 6 points you have to remember regarding the factor of land use. So first one is you have to remember relief feature, which we are talking about different types of landform. Then climatic condition, types of soil, socio-economic, population density, and the last one is technical factors. So these are the factors which are responsible for the land use pattern. Now we will learn about the different types of land use pattern. So we have classified the land use pattern into 7 categories. How many categories we have divided, children? 7 categories. So classification of land use pattern is divided into 7. So we will learn one by one about this. Net area zone, forest area, land not available for cultivation, for fallow land, cultivable waste, permanent pasture and other grazing land, and the last one is land under miscellaneous uses. So remember, first one net area zone, the next one is forest area, after that land not available for cultivation, fallow land, cultivable waste, permanent pasture and other grazing land, and the last one is land under miscellaneous uses. So these are the 7 classification of land use pattern. Now we will learn each one by one. Now the first one. The first one we are going to learn about net zone area. In this net zone area, to remember is this word you have to remember, children. What is this word? Agriculture. A land which is used for agriculture purpose, we call that as net area zone. Is that clear? So land which is used for which purpose? Agriculture purpose. What do you call that land as? Net area zone. So remember, a land which is used for agriculture purpose, we call it as net zone area. So here we can say it as net zone area or net area zone also. So here you remember, nearly we have bought the land for the use of agriculture is 42.42%. A land is used for agriculture purpose, and the highest which a state which is using the land for the agriculture purpose, if you see, it is Punjab. After that, it is followed by Haryana, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh and Kerala. And the least is northern eastern states. And medium is other states. Is that clear, children? So remember, when I say net area zone, you have to remember agriculture, a land which is used for agriculture purpose. That is mainly for cultivation of crop. And how much percent of land is used, if you see? 42.42%. A state which is occupying a land for agriculture, if you see, highest is Punjab, followed by Haryana, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala. And the least is northern, western, eastern states. Is that clear, children? Now all of you understood? Shall I start with the next? So before I start with the next, recognize this, and these lands are used for agriculture only. These lands are used for agriculture. That means which land it is? It is net area zone. Is that clear, children? Have you recognized this picture? See this? It is the land is used for only for growing the crop, for cultivation purpose. That means it is used for agriculture. When I say agriculture, you have to remember which one? Net area zone. Is that clear? The next we will learn about forest area. All of you know what is a forest area. So if you see forest area in India, the land is used for forest area is only 22.8%. How much percentage is there for the forest area? 22.8%. And the highest is Andaman and Nicobar Island, which is located in on the Bay of Bengal. And the next one is the least is Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So clearly with the name itself is very easy to recognize. This land is used for which purpose? Used for only which purpose? See here, children. See this picture, you will recognize. It is used only for forest. The land is used only for the forest purpose. So how much percent of the land is under forest area, if you see? It is 22.8%. And which state is standing highest? If you see state here, it is Union Territory which is standing highest. That is Andaman and Nicobar Island. And the least one is Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Is that clear, children? The next we will learn about land not available for cultivation. We are not using for the agriculture purpose, that is cultivation purpose. Then what purpose are we using this land for? We are using this land for human settlement. That is what you call residential house. So it is used for human settlement, roads, railway, canals, mountain and sandy waste. For this purpose these land is used, but not for cultivation purpose. The land is not used for cultivation purpose, but it is used for human settlement. Maybe construction of a road or a railway, canal and mountains, sand waste. For these purpose the land is used. And here if you see 14.1% of land is used for land not available for cultivation. And in this if you see largely found in the northern eastern side, that is Assam, Manipur, Sikkim. And the very low proportion is in Goa, Kerala, Odisha and Maharashtra. Is that clear, children? All of you understood? So remember here, the land not available for cultivation, it is not used for cultivation purpose but is used for other purpose like human settlement, road, railway, canal, mountain, sandy waste. And nearly how much percentage? 14.1%. And the highest in this is the northern eastern states, you can remember, Assam, Manipur, Sikkim, and the least are Goa, Kerala, Odisha and Maharashtra. And here with this you can recognize about which land I am talking. It is used for human settlement. You can see only construction of buildings are there. This is human settlement. Next one, the land is used for the railway construction. You can see the mountain here, and here it is about sand waste. So this clearly shows about which land I am talking about. Land not available for cultivation. Have you understood, children? A land which is not used for cultivation purpose. Do you see any crop being given importance? Cultivation of crop, can you see in this picture? No. So that means I am talking about land not available for cultivation. So see that a land which is not used for cultivation of crop will come under this category, that is land not available for cultivation. Is that clear, children? Next we'll learn about fallow land. This fallow land will be asked in your essay too. Many times it has been asked. So write it important. Fallow land is the most important, and I will explain about this now. Now first one is fallow land. See this picture, children. Can you see this picture? And you can see in this picture, ploughing has been done in this picture. Ploughing is done, but do you see any cultivation of crops here? No. That means a land was used for agriculture purpose before. After that, they have left this land without cultivation. That means they have left this land to develop its soil fertility. They will not use this land for cultivation nearly 3 to 4 years, so that the land will gain its soil fertility. So that sort of a land we call it as fallow land. A land which was used for agriculture purpose previously. And after that, they will see that the land has to gain its soil fertility. Due to that, this land will not be cultivated for 2 to 3 years or 3 to 4 years also. The land is not used for cultivation purpose. That sort of a land you call it as fallow land. So see here, it is referred to the land which is not used for cultivation. A land is not used for cultivation purpose. And you can see how much percent of land in that? 8.2%. And largely you will find this in Mizoram, Tamil Nadu and Meghalaya, and less in Tripura, Pondicherry, Andaman and Nicobar Island. Is that clear, children? Fallow land, a land which is not used for cultivation purpose, but before it was used for cultivation. Now they left this land barren, it is only to develop its soil fertility. So this sort of a pattern you can see in cropping pattern. So we call it as crop rotation. So here you will see that nearly the land is not used for cultivation, and 8.2% of land is not used for cultivation. And this sort of a land you can see in Mizoram, Tamil Nadu, Meghalaya, and less we will find in Tripura, Pondicherry and Andaman and Nicobar Island. Is that clear, children? Next we will learn about cultivable wasteland. A land which is used for agriculture purpose, but the land has lost its fertility. The soil deficiency you will find in this. Is that clear, children? We will find soil deficiency in this land. Due to that, this land will not be used for cultivation purpose. That sort of a land we call it as cultivable wasteland. And here you can see here, it is mainly found in Meghalaya, Goa, Nagaland and Rajasthan, and only 4.3% of land is under cultivable wasteland. Here you remember land which was not taken up for cultivation due to certain soil deficiency. That means the land has lost its soil fertility. Due to that, this land is not used for cultivation purpose. See, it is not used for cultivation purpose. How much percentage? 4.3%. Which are the state if you see? Meghalaya, Goa, Nagaland and Rajasthan. The next we will learn about permanent pasture and other grazing land. See this picture first, children. See the picture, you see grazing of cattle here. A grazing of cattle has taken place. So clearly you can understand in this land we will see only grass. So that sort of a land we call it as pasture land or we call it as grazing lands. Pasture means nothing but a land which is completely covered with grass. And those grass are used for cattle rearing. So this sort of a land you will find only 3.4%. And it is mainly found in Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. In these places you will find it. So remember, permanent pasture and other grazing land means a land which is completely covered with grass. And those grasslands are used for grazing cattle. And that you will see that land you will see is 3.4%. And it is mainly found in Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. And next we will learn a land under miscellaneous uses. That is, it is used for other purpose other than cultivation, other than construction, other than grassland, other than the wasteland. It is used for other purpose. It may be used for garden purpose, a growing plantation, a single crop to be grown or orchard. For these purpose the land is used. So it is used for garden, orchard and plantation. So you can see here orchard. Is that clear, children? A land which is used for orchard purpose, a plantation or it may be used for garden purpose. In that only 1.1% of land is used for a land under miscellaneous uses. And mainly you will find this in Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Kerala, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh. Is that clear, children, all of you? Have you understood? Now, before learning about these, you remember that what is land use we learned and classification of land use. So these are the topic we have completed. Now we will talk about agriculture. Agriculture is the most important in India because this is the main occupation people in India. That's the reason why we give importance to agriculture. So before learning about importance of agriculture, let me learn the meaning of agriculture. What is agriculture? Tilting of soil for the cultivation of crop is called agriculture. That is, tilting of soil for raising food crop and raw material needed by the human being is called agriculture. That is, you tilt the soil and you grow the food crop as well as raw material which are needed for the human being. Here raw material means that material which are used for industry purpose like cotton, sugar cane. So these we are talking here. So we, with the help of this tilting of the soil, we use for raising food crop as well as raw material which are needed for the human being. When you say agriculture, it is not only cultivation of crops. We also talk about like stock raising, poultry farming and beekeeping. All these are undertaken in agriculture land. Agriculture land does not mean only which is used for cultivation of crop. We also concentrate cattle rearing, beekeeping, poultry. See this picture? Tilting of soil for growing the food crop as well as raw material. And when I say agriculture, it is not only cultivation of crop, it is poultry, cattle rearing, beekeeping. That is, we are taking care of honeybees here, children. The next we will learn about importance of agriculture. As you know, Agriculture is a very important for the Indian economy. It was started from ancient time. In India, India is known as an agriculture country. And nearly how much percent of people are depend upon agriculture? 65% of people are depend upon agriculture. And you can see that the country economic depends on the progress of agriculture. If our country economic has to develop, it depends on the agriculture. Now we will learn the importance. First one is main source of livelihood. Many people depend upon agriculture. Nearly I told you in the beginning itself, 65% of people are depend upon agriculture. So that means the main source of livelihood. The next one is through agriculture, people get the food for them as well as fodder for the cattle. That is, fodder is nothing but we are talking about the food for the animals here. We don't call it as a food, we tell it as fodder. So through agriculture, we are able to raise food for the people as well as fodder for the cattle. And the next one is through agriculture, we are able to earn national income as well as revenue for our country. That is, through agriculture, we are able to increase our national income as well as raise the revenue. And with this, the agriculture also helps us to develop tertiary sectors like trade, transport, banking, insurance. Remember, through agriculture we are able to develop one more sector, and that sector is tertiary sector. Example for the tertiary sector is trade, transport, banking, insurance, these. Is that clear, children? And the next one is not only tertiary sector is developed, even industrial sector is developed because of agriculture. So here you can see that development of cotton and jute textile is developed because of agriculture. And the most important, agriculture can change the situation of political and social situations. So remember, first I told you, it is a main source of livelihood. First one. Second one, food for the people and fodder for the domestic animal. Increases national income and revenue. And it helps tertiary sector. Then we will learn this. Next, it also helps the industries. And the last point we will make it political and social situations. Is that clear, children? Remember these points. Is that clear? So, livelihood, food and fodder. And third one is regarding national income and revenue. Fourth one is tertiary sector, industry sector. Last one is socio and political situations. See this picture, children? This is clearly explaining about the importance of agriculture. See this picture and you will tell me what it is. Here, what I am trying to explain? Tell me this. It is the main source of livelihood. Can you see this picture? See how many people are working? They are depend upon agriculture. So this shows agriculture is the main source of livelihood for many people. Nearly 65% of people depend upon agriculture. Next, see these two pictures together. You are talking about food and fodder. It is a food for human being and it is a fodder for cattle. Is that clear, children? And the next one is we are learning about tertiary sector. It is helping for the development of tertiary sector. And the last one is agro-based industry. Development of agro-based industry means agriculture industry. Industry which is depend on the agriculture for the raw material like cotton, sugarcane, jute. These will come under agro-based industries. So through this picture you will remember what are the importance of agriculture. First, livelihood, food and fodder. And next one is tertiary sector and agro-based industry in India. Now tell me, these two more points I have left. Which is the point? Yes, Correct, you told? It is regarding national income and revenue. Agriculture also helps to increase national income and revenue. And the next point is, it also changes the political and social situation. So these are the points what you have to remember about importance of agriculture. Now we will start about the assignment, children. Assignment, first we will learn this. Explain the classification of land use pattern in India. So remember, those 7 classification you have to list it out. The 7 classification we have to list it out. So here we will have 7 classification. These are the. Okay. These are the 7 classification you have to write it. Net area zone, forest area, land not available for cultivation, fallow land, cultivable waste, permanent pasture and other grazing land, land under miscellaneous use. But you will explain all the 7 detailedly. You will say the net area zone is used for agriculture purpose. How much percentage? Which are the state? All that you have to mention in this. The next one. Forest area. Land is used for forest area. How much percentage? Which are those states have to be mentioned. Here land is not used for cultivation. Then for what purpose it is used? Human settlement, construction of roads, railways and other purpose. With that percentage and the state has to be mentioned. Next one, fallow land, percentage and the land has to be, name of the states have to be mentioned. Next one is cultivable wasteland. You have to mention those, the same points in all these you have to mention. So detail you will write, not only writing the heading of these 7 classification, you will explain about each one. What I had explained it. Is that clear, children? The second question will be, what is agriculture? I have explained about the agriculture, the meaning of agriculture. So remember, it is mainly tilting of soil for raising food crop and raw material needed by human being is called agriculture. With that, now term is also extended including these 3. You have to write it. So agriculture means all the 3 you have to write it. Next one is explain the importance of agriculture in India. I think better instead of showing you the point, I'll show you the picture. The picture of importance of agriculture in India. So that will be about agro-based industry which I explained and about tertiary sectors. Seeing that picture, you will be able to recognize better. So see this picture, children. The last question in the assignment I asked you about importance of agriculture. So instead of seeing the point, you see this picture and you will remember better. And this is often asked in essay too. So remember, see this picture and write the points. So first one is talking about the main source of livelihood. Second one, it is used for production of food for human settlement and fodder for cattle. After that, you will explain about tertiary sector. It also helps in development of tertiary sector. Give me the examples of tertiary sector, children. What are the examples? Trade, insurance, education. By seeing this picture itself, you will understand. Communication, here it is health regarding we have to talk, and here transportation. By see this picture, you will be able to write which are the tertiary sector. Tertiary sector can also be called as service sector. Is that clear, children? About service sector, you can write it as tertiary sector or you can write about service sector. Next, after this, you will talk about agro-based industry in India. That is agriculture industry. Which industry it is supporting? If you see, it is cotton and jute industry. With that, you can also add sugarcane also, sugarcane industry. Because the raw material, which is the industry which depends on agriculture for the raw material, those industries are called as agro-based industry in India. Is that clear, children? So these are the points what you are going to write. Livelihood, food, fodder, tertiary sector, agro-based industry. With us, 2 more points you have to write. So which are those 2 points? Last time itself I told you. increase in revenue and national income. And the last point is regarding the change in political and social situation. So these are the 2 points what you have to write regarding explain the importance of agriculture. Is that clear, children? So these are the assignment questions which you have to write in your homework book. Is that clear, children? All of you understood? So in the next session, I will be explaining the remaining content of this lesson. Thank you, children. We'll meet in the next session.